Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play Ostranauts. And we're in the process of flipping a ship. Not this particular ship, but a smaller one that I bought. And in the process of doing that, I kept running out of power, and I suspected that maybe it was the toe brace that was causing that. And many of you have weighed in, and I did look it up. The toe brace does indeed use a lot of power. I think the part that's most disappointing for me is I didn't even need the toe brace for most of what I did. I probably only needed it for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes during the entire excursion in my last couple of episodes. So I am going to keep that in mind when we redock with the millennial condition. I think that's what it's called. I honestly don't remember. We'll know soon enough because we're going to head over to it. I think everything else is in good shape right now. And yeah, I think we'll get going. So I did run around the station for a while and spent about an hour blowing off some steam. I did try to hire a worker and I couldn't. There's literally nobody on the station. There's like 2 bartenders and 2 technicians and the lady that works the desk for the TSA or whatever they call them, the one where you go and pay some fees to and things like that, which does remind me I probably am going to owe some money this time. I don't. Look at that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and jump in here and get out before they decide they're going to charge us. But there was nobody that would accept the job. The technicians weren't looking for work. I didn't really pursue the bartenders too hard, but yeah, there's nobody available right now. The station is a ghost town, and that's kind of weird. I'm not used to that being the case. So I feel like that was not the right button. I want it dock info, not unread messages. Request clearance. We're going to get the heck out of here. There it is. And once we have our little graphic, I had slowed down a little bit there, but we'll start to back away. And this is good because the place we're going is up this way, if I recall. So we'll just kind of add a little bit of thrust to move away and start to get that into line of sight. And hopefully we will see our target pretty quickly here. Should be in about then. Yeah, it should be pretty close to here. There it is. The Millennium Conclusion. That's where we want to go. So we'll click on that guy. There it is. We should be able to get a straight line to them now. So we're going to slow time back down and start to rotate. Now, I am recording this after the last round of bug fixes that have occurred. It looked like there was a minor update. I looked through the notes. It did look like everything was like a small fix for known problems. So I'm not thinking there's anything new to go looking at. I probably could give it a second look just to make sure. But for now, we shouldn't see anything new in game with regards to what has changed over the last week or so. And that gets us pretty close. That gets us even closer. So we're going to start heading that way. Now, I don't think there is anything that needs repairing on the ship. Kind of took care of that on our way back in last time, but just in case. We'll see if he wants to run off and do anything. Doesn't look like it. Well, maybe a little. So always makes me a liar. That's okay. He's finding a couple of things to do. Yeah, that tank does look a little rusty, doesn't it? So that's going to need to get cleaned up. Here's a few wall sections. While I was at the station, I did go and look at the current value of the Millennium Conclusion, and it has dropped down to 66,000 credits. That's quite a departure. That's half of what I bought. It's actually less than half of what I bought it for. I think that makes sense. There's no navigation system on it. There's no transponder on it. It doesn't even have a floor. It just has a hull, and that's it. Nothing else on it. Few lights, So it makes sense that its price is tanked right now. But we're going to try to build it back and see what we end up with. In fact, we're going to build back better. We'll see what happens there. And we are way closer than I thought we would be by now. Oh boy, we're going to have to slow down a lot. Like a lot. Should make it now though, but we were going way too fast. Yeah, we want to not slam into the thing. So I'm actually backing away a little bit at this point. Yeah, I think I accelerated more than I really realized. That was not very smart. You don't want to do that. You will slam into things at speeds that aren't, workable. So don't do that. Okay, there we go. And then we start to move forward again. Okay, that should get us pretty close. We're only moving at 5 meters a second. We can pick that up just a little. And there it is. We are docked. Now I want to check my relative speed to that of the asteroid here. And we're in pretty good straits, less than a meter a second. I can deal with that. Even if we're, several hours, we're not going to be on the other side of the universe. We'll still be in the neighborhood, so that's good. We are a little closer than we were last time. Last time we docked, we were at about 55 kilometers. Now we're at a little over 50. I did know that it was moving a little bit towards the station and the asteroid. We did know that. I'm not sure how much of a change this is from last time we looked, but 50 is going to be fine. Nothing to worry about there. We do need to get a suit on, as we will be working in vacuum. As you can see, there is no floor. So first we start with the shoes. Let's put on the yellow one this time. There we go. And a nice helmet. Where are we on battery? Okay, oxygen and battery are pretty good for now. Certainly not going to cause us any problems. This should have flooring in it, so I think we're going to go pick that up. And just to make sure I don't get the wrong one, yeah, he's got, it should be 45 segments of floor, so that gives us plenty to do here. And while he's walking over there, we're going to mark areas to build hull. This looks bigger. So that's slightly different, I guess. Look, this whole window looks a lot bigger to me for some reason. I'm going to have to go back and look, but it definitely feels a little different. Okay, and we're just going to paint this in here. 5, 10, 15, 21, 27. This should be 4s, right? So that's 31, 35. That'll leave 10. Where do we want to put the last one? We'll go right there. So that's everything he's carrying, and that's probably good enough for now. And we'll pick up the pace. Okay, he's laid all that down, and he will get to building. Now, I did want to have a crew member, as I mentioned. I tried to get one. I couldn't find anybody. I've kind of killed them all off, unfortunately. Not intentionally. It's been all accidental by, leaving helmets on and things like that. The one, I fired him while he was sitting in my ship with his helmet on, and I didn't think about that at the time. And of course, what that meant is I couldn't order him off the ship for some reason. Wouldn't let me do that. Couldn't control him and couldn't get him to take his helmet off, and he eventually suffocated. So I don't know. That's probably a Darwin Award or something. Should see if there's some sort of award like that in the Ostranauts universe. And we're going to do some repairs on these floors because why not? We have the time. Again, a worker, though, would be really nice right now because they'd be able to just kind of fly through some of this stuff with us. We'd be already putting in more floor, and that'd be great. No complaints, no complaints. That's not too bad. He's getting that done quick. I'm going to check out his equipment, make sure we're okay on battery. That's at more than 50%. And I did check these just a few minutes ago. I moved the, well, I thought I did. I thought I moved it into the, no, I put it in his pocket, come to think of it. The other, he had picked up a second drill and I had missed that. I think he picked it up on the station. He might have picked it up here. I'm not quite sure, but one of them had a zero battery and I couldn't get anything to work. And the reason was I was looking at the wrong one. He was trying to use the one with zero battery. So not his, best moment, I guess, but trying to get his jobs done, I guess. And so we'll cut him a little slack. Okay, so we've got all that done. I mean, we can probably put in the rest of the floor. This is really full of floor, and that is good. I was wanting to kind of use I like to have empty chests if they full or empty, you want to kind of go through them in a particular order. That one's empty. I don't think this had flooring, did it? Nope, that's the bags. This is conduit. So I think we're in good shape. You know what? Before I forget, I want to put that antenna on somewhere. So let's take care of that because I will entirely forget to do that if I'm not paying close attention. So while it's on my mind, we're going to grab it and bring it here. And we're going to do this. He did not. Oh, did he pick it up? It's on his, is it in his hand? Awesome. There we go. So we'll just drop that here. And just to save a headache of things that I could possibly do wrong, we're just going to cut a hole in the wall. And we're going to put it right here. It's going to go right there. So we will tell it to install. Boom. And there it is in all its beauty. Okay, is it in good shape? It is fully repaired, so we are doing well there. We're cooking with gas. I haven't heard that term in so long, and here I'm reading a book called The Calculating Stars, and it used that phrase, and it really caught me off guard because that is, like I said, not something I've heard in forever. So go ahead and put that wall back in there. We'll get busy on that. And then we'll go get some flooring and start finishing out the floor and put in a basic layout. Now, this is not going to be something we finish today or probably in the next episode or two because I need to get some doors. I'm going to want to put in some rooms. It is possible we're going to make it bigger. We'll have to see what the price is. So my dream here, my mortgage for it was like $700,000 or so, somewhere between $600,000 and $800,000, and it's worth a little over $1 million now. We could do a lot with this, having started at $120,000. If we get it as big as the dream, if we laid it out exactly like the dream, we've made 4-ish times what we spent. So I'd be okay with that, but we'll just have to see. And some of it has to do with if we're able to put rooms in there. So we'll take a look at that. For now, though, we're just going to go pick up this crate and we're going to carry it with us and we are going to put the rest of this flooring in. So once again, we're going to go to order, haul. It'd be nice if there was a way to put like the ones you use the most. I could probably just use floor at this point. And it would, since he's holding it, it would probably just go ahead and use it. But just to prevent any confusion, we will spell out that we want the 96 series floor. If I can find it. Found it quick last time. Feel like we're getting there. That almost looks like it, right? That's not it though. Where did I miss it? Oh, that is it. I have the numbers backwards. Okay. I was thinking the labels were above, the labels are below. So there's the 96. That's what we want. One there. And then fill everything else in. We can do this however we like. I don't know why not talking makes this easier, but it does, which seems impossibly weird, but there you have it. Okay. There's that wall. Having a little trouble seeing here, folks. Sorry. Getting a little better there. I think we'll go ahead and we'll stop there for now and let him get that done, see what happens. Need to put some conduit in. Could probably start grabbing that. He will do 5 conduit at a time because he'll pick it up in stacks of 5, or up to 5 anyway. So go ahead and do 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. Yep, 4, 5. Now, it would be most efficient if I were to just go and grab those stacks and put them in his backpack. But if he bounces back and forth a few times for that, it's not going to be the end of the world. He'll lose, what, a minute, 2 minutes maybe. I guess we probably lose more oxygen than anything else if he's going through the door multiple times. Well, this might make a good time to ask some questions of you guys, and you can reply in chat. I will try to see these. I don't always check the chat. I've been warned by some other folks who provide content that can be really dangerous. I have experienced that on some other videos, not with my Ostranauts crowd, but with some other folks in some other things I've done. People can be really nasty for no reason, and that's disappointing, particularly when you're trying to do right by people. I get that I am not a genius at this game and I don't need to be reminded of it. And I do appreciate the kind words that I get, not so much the other ones, but on one of my series, I was getting quite a bit of the negative, and I was kind of talked to by a couple of guys that said, you know what, don't even read them at all. But I don't have Discord set up yet. I don't have really a way to communicate with anybody. So it's kind of my way of knowing what you guys are thinking. So I'll try to make sure to remember to look at episode 7, I think is what this one is, and pay attention to what comments come up, because I am wondering, once we get this ship flipped, what should be next? I'm thinking maybe I need to figure out how to use the data. I keep saying data, the cargo pods, data pods, the cargo pods, and how the cargo pods need to or can be situated and worked in the game. It's not something I've worked through, and I feel like that might be a good thing. I have gotten a lot of comments from you guys saying, oh, data pods are the way to go. I did it again. Cargo pods are the way to go. You can make a lot of money with them. My primary enjoyment of this game is this part, building out a new ship and just seeing, how quickly I can do it, or if I can find the parts I need. That's really what I kind of get a bang out of. I'm not having to go to Saturn and Venus and everywhere else, but I am willing to give that a try, particularly once I get that reactor built. That'll be awesome, right? I know that some folks want me to try doing atmosphere, and I would like to do that too. I just haven't made it that far in any of this for that to be a factor, but I'm sure I'll get there. What else is out there, though? What else would people be interested in seeing? I'll see what I can do. No promises, but I'm always interested in hearing, possibilities and what folks think. So let me know. We'll start with conduit there. Why is he not running around yet? There he goes. Okay. Then we'll go and finish the 96 series, which I know is in this column out here, and there it is. Okay. Let him drop it in right there. Is that all of it? That looks like all of it. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I got floor in on all of the hull. I prefer to do it that way. As most of you know, you are not required to put floor under wall, but if you ever have a period of time where you remove internal wall that used to be external wall, and now you all of a sudden have a hole in the floor, you could have problems. So I always put wall under it. I think it structurally makes sense as well. And I just prefer to do it that way than have the opposite mistake where I completely forget and cause problems. I have had floor that has gone bad under wall, and not gotten repaired, and I've removed wall, and that's been a problem. And yeah, that was on me, but in general, I avoid that. Well, we're coming right along. I could pick things up here again. We have our floor in, and part of me wants to go and see if just adding floor and having everything clean, if that makes a difference in the current price of the ship. Not so much, well, yeah, at the desk. If I were to try to sell this right now, what would it go for? Did that make any difference at all? And there's a piece of me that wants to maybe give that a try. I do know I have a couple of lights on me here, and we're going to go ahead and install these. I don't know, maybe here. Yeah, we'll put them here and here. And we're ready to put in transponder in that. I might want to take a quick break and look at the ship layout and how that might need to play out. Although, I mean, mostly I'm just winging this. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it exactly, particularly since I'm not keeping the ship. I'm just selling it. I just need to get the right pieces in and then sell the darn thing. With regards to that, we're going to have a nav station, which is 3x3. So with 3x3, we have twos. So we have 4 units. This is 7 across. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we'd have 2 on each side. We could have a couple of different layouts. Doesn't have to go there. We could put it here for that matter. I think it makes sense up here, kind of at the front of the ship. Easier to block it off and give a bridge room. And a bridge room is a bonus multiplier for the price of things that are in it. So I'm probably going to want to do that. But beyond that, I'm not quite sure where I might want to go. Let's see. I have some thrusters and that out here. Do I have, there's an intake. Maybe we like do a room or a wall. I don't know, here, make this like engineering. Just simple stuff, couple of intakes, few thrusters, doesn't have to be real fancy. That's probably the best way to go. We're going to need some pumps. Got some pumps. Intake. We've got alarms. I'm not planning on using the Hydra on this one, though we might drop it in just to see what happens with the price. In fact, I think maybe once we're able to fly this ship, what we might do is jump off of this one, the Angelica Marine, and jump onto it, fly it back to port, and sell it while we're actually in port. That might be fun, and then we can take a shuttle back to here and see how that works. But overall, I think we're in pretty good shape. And I am not running the tow brace, as mentioned. Let's take a quick look at battery life. Yeah, we're sipping battery right now. And that's, again, I kind of figured that out. Several of you had commented on it. It occurred to me at some point during my last video that maybe that was the cause, and it indeed was. And I had kind of read about it. So, yeah, I think we are ready for the next phase here, but I really am interested what this did to the cost. So let's go ahead and go do that. It's a little bit of waste of time. I get that, but I think it'll be interesting to see what actually happens as we move through the build of a ship and what we can kind of expect there. So let me get us back to the station and we will see what's happening. That wasn't so bad. All right, how far are we now? We are now 48, so we are getting closer to the asteroid. That's just something to be mindful of. Yeah, let's engage the tow brace, and we don't have to. With a little bitty maneuver, it won't break anything, but we've got it, might as well use it. So we'll get that engaged, slow back down, come over here, and try to zero out the rates again. My assumption is every time I bump into the ship, it starts to move it a little bit. And that's why whoa, that's definitely not what I meant to do, particularly at 2 times speed. So we're going to have to see what we can do about that. Okay, so that's, yeah, basically I want to get them zeroed. If I can get there we go. So we're now moving slightly away from the asteroid. Now we might be moving slightly towards, yeah, looks like it. I mean, ideally what you do is you get yourself perpendicular to it, literally 90 degrees to it. We're really close to that. Let's go ahead and do this the right way. So I've slowed time way down. I also want to slow down my actual thrust. Doesn't need to be full because we want to have some finite control over it. And we want to bring the bearing to 180 so that it's directly behind us. And of course, I picked the wrong direction right off the bat. There we go. So we can pick that up a little bit. Again, we've got it at quarter speed intentionally, just so we don't overshoot things. But let's get it lined up perfectly. And I wasn't even watching the right number. So that's on me. But we want to get this as close to 180 exactly as possible. There it is, exactly 180. So any motion we do in the x-axis will move us toward or away from the asteroid. And anything we do in the y-axis, I think I've got those right, will change our VCRS. We've got it turned way down. There it is. We got that one at 0. And I think, yep, we're drifting towards. So that zeroes us out. That's exactly what we want. Shouldn't be a problem at this point. So it'll probably drift a little. You know, we're probably floating at 0.004 meters per second towards or away, and that's fine. We'll just have to kind of deal with that. So I'm going to jump out. Well, first let's bump this back up. I don't quite remember where it was. We'll put it here, and we'll close out of here. Turn this off. So release towed vessel. We'll pick up our speed, our time compression. And when he's done with that, we will separate and head back. Now, since we lined up already, literally, at least to get to the asteroid, we just have to go straight backwards. We don't have to worry about left, right at all. You know what? I'm sorry. I meant to look one more time and see if that had not changed. And I am targeting it. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, see, it's just a hair of drift there, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. We're actively working the ship, so it won't be a problem. Dock, request clearance, undock. And we're away. So let's come out here to main menu and unread messages. There was one out there. We're in good order. Thank you, citizen. You're welcome. There we go. Look at our docking info. We're not docked, so there's no info to see. Okay, we're heading back. Actually, I didn't line anything up, did I? We're just floating right now. Let's get that done. So I need to go back and select the actual station. And of course, the station is on exactly the opposite side of everything from us. So I'm going to aim at the Argo out here. That's been a pretty good point to get me kind of near the asteroid, but not directly on it. And we'll rotate. Not bad. I'll take it. And then we want to slow down our drift towards the planet. So holding down left thrust. And we'll zero that out. Go ahead and bump us up to 100 meters per second forward. Incidentally, in space terms, 100 meters per second is nothing. I think y'all probably know that, probably reasonably savvy, but yeah, the scale of the universe here is extremely small. 100 meters per second is barely moving at all. And on the contrary, though, moving to a docking position at 20 meters a second, which is 2.5 times faster than I aim for, is suicide. So in real life. So, you know, we're playing a game, something to remember, but just kind of give scale of things. 100 meters per second sounds super fast, and it's really not. All right. Once we kind of clear, I guess really we have to be tangent to this for it to be a one shot though, don't we? So we'll have to get kind of over here. And of course the grid doesn't move, but we'll know when we're there. That's not quite it. We can start to lean though. All right, slowing down because I probably didn't need to do that quite the way I did, but we want to click over here now. We've got that guy, get his bearing to 0. There we go. And then we're going to slow down the left right here. Oh, I can bump this up some. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll take that. We're going 115 meters a second, mostly towards the station. That's pretty good, actually. We'll go with that. And we're not going to leave the driver's seat this time. Don't need to almost smash into it. Proximity. Now that is proximity to the asteroid itself, which is fine. We're going to have to get close to hit the station. But to the station, we're actually going to hit that one here in just a few seconds. And there it is. Clear that. I can start slowing down while flipping through these screens. It's really not a horrible idea. And requesting docking. Like I said, I tend to aim for about 50. That's just what I'm mostly comfortable with. With that said, when I'm talking through it, I'm not comfortable with any speed at all. I'm really bad at it at that point, actually. But that looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not quite it though, is it? Okay, that got really close. I can probably make that work. So we'll speed up, slow down. Why did, oh, I was off just enough. Okay, but I was only doing 50, so it was okay. I think if you hit things faster than like 90 is when it starts to cause problems. I'm probably damaged something there, honestly. We'll have to take a look. We're docked though, so we can jump off of there and we'll hit X. No, everything looks, I think that's green, so I think we're all okay. This is definitely not green. What is that? Oh, that's the old transponder. Yeah, that's not gonna change. So can't fix it. We'll just have to get rid of it. Okay, so my whole purpose of coming back here was to check out the price of that ship, and it was at 66,000 credits when I left the station. Let's see where it is now that the floor is completely in and we've added a little more conduit. My sense is it's going to basically be the value of the floor. So I don't know, maybe how many floor sections did we put in? The first batch was 45, probably 3 times that. So we put in 200 floor units. Even if they are $20 each, that's only 4,000 credits. So 70,000 maybe. If it's just a one-to-one, that's probably what we're looking at. Come on, there you go. And the result is, wow, we added 31,000. We're still below where we started, but as you can see, the graphic has updated. I did add the antenna too. That probably helped. I didn't think about that. We put in 2 lights and conduit, and that's it otherwise. So yeah, that's coming along. 30,000. I mean, we make that much more again, and we're breaking even. Of course, we've put a lot of resources in that we had collected, but probably want to make up something for our time in that. But otherwise, there you have it. Well, I am going to go and get set up for the next mission out there. Maybe in the meantime, before we head back to that ship, we might go and see if we can do any scrapping of another ship for a period of time. Still looking for a reactor, and I think we're going to need a couple of doors. So that might be what the next episode holds for us. But until then, I thank you for your time. And until next time, fair travels.